Hey everyone, before the video starts, I just want to say the video is brought to you by Aero Bracelet. Head on over to aerobracelet.com and pick yourself up a bracelet, a lanyard, or a keychain, maybe for an aviation enthusiast in your life that you know, or hey, treat yourself and get one. Maybe you got a birthday coming up or an anniversary, but all orders over $35 get free shipping. That's aerobracelet.com. Hey everybody, I'm the Simviator. Welcome back to the channel. I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Hope everybody's being safe this weekend and enjoying fireworks and cookouts and everything hopefully gets back to normal since the pandemic. So hope everybody is enjoying this holiday weekend. Today we're going to do a flight from Philadelphia to Ronald Reagan International. I thought it'd be pretty fitting for us to fly from Philadelphia, where the Constitution was drawn up and put forth, and then go to our nation's capital, which is obviously Washington D.C. It's going to be a Vatsim flight. We're going to be talking to controllers. Um, it's pretty busy there from what I saw when I looked at the app here. So let's see if it's still pretty busy there. Obviously, it's a Saturday night, so there's going to be plenty of people flying there. Yeah, so it's just a cluster of black arrows. So lots of people departing and arriving. So we will get back to our panel here. Let me also put in Kphl. All right, get the diagram up for, we call it the taxi. So I have my notepad here. We're going to get our routing instructions, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them into the GPS. I'll cut all that stuff out because it takes forever. Once I get the Garmin navigation system 430 in here, it's going to be so much quicker for me to just be able to dial everything up. But for now, I have to do it with the mouse and the sim. So I'll go ahead and cut that stuff out because using the mouse is just terribly frustrating to try and input fixes and arrivals and departures. So we'll go ahead and fire up the battery and alternator. And I am actually going to fire up the avionics, which is not something you would do normally. Normally you would start the airplane first because you don't want to risk blowing out the avionics beforehand. So you would normally turn them on, then fire up the airplane. You would fire up the airplane first, then turn the avionics on. But I'm doing it differently this time, so let's go ahead and get everything we need. So I filed our flight plan, but I left it open, so they're going to go ahead and give us our routing to DCA. And like I said, I'll punch it into the computer and cut that out so you guys don't have to be bored with it. 290908, that's already set. We're using live weather, but not live time. But I made it daytime so we could hopefully see DC when we get in there. It's cloud covering right now in Philly, so. And we have Information Hotel. So we'll dial up delivery here. 28250. And then we have ground. It's going to be programmed in here. They are pretty busy here in Philly. Okay, Philly's not busy. DCA is very busy. They have multiple approaches and multiple departure controllers working. There's there. Alright, 2190. We'll get the tower set up. Try and stay ahead of this flight. And do my readbacks best I possibly can. This will probably be a mess, but it is what it is. Alright. I was accidentally looking at Ronald Reagan when I was typing this in.
Attention all aircraft on frequency 8 is information Foxtrot is now current.
Foxtrot just became current. And I don't know if we can get a refresh here. It's still echo, but 2985 is the altimeter. So that's dialed in. And it looks like... No, we're good. Okay. So we'll make our call out to ground now. And some...
Philadelphia ground, citation 518 Charlie Lima, ready for taxi.
Citation 518 Charlie Lima, runway 27 left to taxi via Juliet, November, hold short of runway 27 right.
Juliet, November, hold short 27 right.
So sometimes what I'll have them do...
I'm actually holding short at Kilo here. Can I go to November on Kilo?
November 518 Charlie Lima, Quebec, Kilo, November, hold short runway 27 right.
Quebec, Kilo, November, hold short 27 right, 518 Charlie Lima.
Sometimes what I'll have them do is send me my routing in the vPilot. Alright, so Foxtrot's current on here. It's 9086. I'll have them send me the routing in vPilot because sometimes it's so long I don't want to tie up the airways, but Philly doesn't really seem busy right now, so we'll see if ground's going to give it to us over voice, but I'll always give them the option to give it to me over vPilot because this way it's easier to copy if I don't hear something by hand, and again, you're not tying up the airways, but again, it's not busy, so the controller may want the practice of giving the delivery over air, but we'll go ahead and call ground here and let them know that we are ready to copy. Philadelphia ground, good evening. Beechcraft Bonanza 201 Romeo, ready to copy for IFR to Ronald Reagan with information Foxtrot.
November 201 Romeo, standby clearance on request number 1. November 518 Charlie Lima, cross runway 27 right at November, continue November, Sierra Sierra 1 for runway 27 left.
Cross 27 right, continue November, Sierra Sierra 1, 27 left. Can I request Sierra 3?
Hey, from you can use 27 left at Sierra 3.
27 left at Sierra 3, 518 Charlie Lima, thank you.
Alright, so he's getting our routing together. calling that out.
November 518 Charlie Lima, your number 1 for departure. Contact Philadelphia Tower on 118.5. Have a great flight.
Over to Tower 118.5. Thank you, 518 Charlie Lima.
But because Philly only has a tower and a ground on right now, he's juggling, obviously, taxiing aircraft and doing clearance delivery work. And we appreciate that. We appreciate Vatsim very much. And volunteers who jump on and they have fun controlling, we have fun flying. Works for everybody. All right, everyone. So at this point, I got a private message from Philadelphia Ground, I believe it was. They sent me a private message in the V Pilot app. What you end up doing is clicking it. You'll see a little tab from the Kphl Ground. And when you click on that, they'll give you your entire routing, your entire clearance, basically, what your altitudes are going to be, what your squawk code's going to be, all that. So I ended up taking that information, punching it into the GPS so we can get on with our flight. Okay, so we have a giant plane that just spawned in front of us. That's very interesting. I got the routing done. Frustrating as can be, I'll tell you that right now. It's just, I can't wait to get that system, because doing this with a mouse, having it slip and switch between the knobs and all that nonsense is very, very frustrating. Alright, so we are going to also look at, nice thing that's, one thing that's really nice about Flight Plan Go is it gives you all the procedures, the approaches, the departures. So we are going to do the Philadelphia to departure. That's going to be off runway 27, and it'll give us a SID, which is standard instrument departure.
Good evening, Philadelphia Ground. This is Mooney, November 201, November Juliet. Can I get a radio check?
November 201, November Juliet, Philadelphia Ground. Good evening. Standby clearance. Correction. Redo 5x5.
Mooney, November 201, November Juliet. No problem. I'll call for clearance in just a moment once I get a couple things set up.
Copy.
All right, and this is Mooney, November 201, November Juliet, requesting clearance for IFR departure to Washington Dulles International Airport with information Foxtrot.
November 201, November Juliet. Standby clearance on request.
So the reason he's probably tripping over the November 201 November, which is another plane that's actually here at Philadelphia, is because I am November 201 Romeo. That actually belongs to a Mooney in real life. I have a different reason for using that. Maybe one day I'll get into it. It won't be this video. But I'm flying a Bonanza, which is not what this tail number is registered to. But I did find out one night when I was flying.
Ground, stand by on the reroute.
So one night when I was flying, controller actually asked if I was in a Mooney, and he said that he flew in a Mooney once that was November 201, and then it was some other letter at the end of it, but I guess the 201s are, a lot of the Moonies have them, or it's reserved for some reason, but that was pretty funny, and I guess this guy's using a tail number that's right in use with a real Mooney. Maybe it's one that he flies. Maybe it's one that he flies in. But that is a game that, or I'm sorry, that's a plane that is available for DLC here for the sim. So that might be something we look into one day, and we'll have an actual real tail number to go correspond with the actual plane. But all right, so I've dialed everything in. Looked at the SID here. We're going to be climbing initially. Well, I'll call it out. I'm not going to bother going over it.
No worries, Philadelphia Ground. I'm just making sure I'm able to do that. And I'll get back to you once I'm ready. Mooney, November 201, November Juliet.
Copy, thank you.
But we'll get back to the diagram. We're going to be taking off on 27 left. We're parked over here on uniform, so they'll probably have us cross, take uniform to Sierra 1. We could probably take off Sierra 3 actually, because there's plenty of runway available. It's 1,200 foot, so I'm sorry, 12,000 feet of runway. So we could probably do intersection takeoff right at uniform if we really wanted to, but we'll see about requesting that. But all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the engine started because we're about to taxi here. Parking brake set and fired up. Clear prop. Okay. Philadelphia ground, November 201 Romeo.
November 201 Romeo, Philadelphia ground.
Do you need a read back or we're ready to taxi?
November 201 Romeo, you don't really need to rig back, but I can give you taxi instructions. Runway, so November 201, November Juliet, runway 27 left at uniform, taxi via uniform.
This is November 201 November Juliet. I think there are very similar frequencies. There's 201 Romeo and 201 November Juliet.
That's what I just said. Apparently he doesn't know his tail number.
November 201 Romeo, runway 27 left at uniform, taxi via uniform.
Taxi to runway 27 left via uniform, 01 Romeo. Alright. Get all our lights on. Got our squawk code input.
Also, this is Mooney November 201 November Juliet. I should be able to accept the Hyper 8 arrival. That should work fine. So I'm ready for... So I'll once again request clearance for IFR departure to Dulles with information Foxtrot.
Alright, so...
Okay, November 201 November Juliet, you are cleared to the Washington Dulles Airport via Philadelphia 2 departure, radar vectors Modena, and Hyper 8 arrival. Maintain 3,000, expect 6,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency Unicom 122.8, squawk 3050.
All right, clear to the Washington Dulles International Airport via the Philadelphia 2 departure, radar vectors to Modena. We'll arrive via the Hyper 8 arrival. Climb maintain 3,000 feet, expect 6,000 feet, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 122.8, which is Unicom, squawk 3050.
November 201 November Juliet, feedback correct. Push back and start with your discretion. Use at your discretion, expect runway 27 left at uniform, and call ready for taxi. November 201 Romeo, you're number 1 for departure. Contact Philadelphia Tower on 118.5. Have a great flight. And happy 4th of July.
Going over to Tower 118.5. Happy 4th of July. Thanks. Alright, now we're on Tower. Hold up. Got a little bit of throttle going in. Okay. Alright, so we are all set. GPS. Let's go ahead and do our VS. We'll climb at 500 because we're not going to be going very high today. They'll probably have us run runway heading for start, so we'll set that 270 because that'll be west. All right. Philadelphia Tower, good evening. Bonanza 201 Romeo, holding short runway 27 left, ready for departure.
Bonanza 201 Romeo, Philadelphia Tower, good evening. Just to verify that runway 27 left at uniform would be 7,500 feet available. Is that okay for you?
It's perfectly fine for us.
Bonanza 201 Romeo, Roger. Turn left heading 230. The wind is 170 at 4, runway 27 left at uniform, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27 left at uniform. We'll be heading 230 after takeoff. 0 on Romeo. Alright, so we're good to go. Taxi lights off. Landing lights are on. And we are let her rip, full throttle, good center line. V1 rotates. Positive right, gear up. Close the cowl. And 500 feet, we'll do our turn for 230.
Bonanza 01 Romeo, no further ATC is available. Automatic approach is online. You can expect that after entering their airspace. Switch to Unicom is approved. Good night.
Alright, changing over to Unicom 1228. Have a good night. Happy 4th. 0 on Romeo. Alright, so DC Center is offline. So unfortunately we will not be talking to them. And it's sort of our own navigation from this point. Unfortunately they got offline. I thought they'd stay on, but they didn't, so we'll hit the nav button and start heading to our waypoints. And our final altitude is going to be 6,000, so that's what we're going to climb to. And we can VS, do about 1,500 feet per second. Let's switch back there so we can check that sim map and see what we're dealing with here when we get into DC airspace. Okay, so DC Center's on. That's odd. If they're on, why aren't they? They must be getting off. It's fine. Turn our landing light off. DCA's down to ground in a tower, so unfortunately I think we started flying a little too late tonight for the East Coast, so it is what it is, but we're still going to truck on to our nation's capital for this 4th of July. Plug that in. We got the diagram up. Alright, we'll lean out here a little bit. Let's go back to the panel here so we can make sure we're leaning out the right way. Also, another good indicator is if you're using the flight instrument panel from Logitech. If you go to the gauges here, you can watch your RPM, and once you lean out, you'll see the RPM will be gaining, and once you go too far, you'll see it start to draw back a little bit, and that's when you know you go forward. So that's perfect right there, right where we need to be. So that's wonderful. And we will also get information for Reagan because we will be there within the hour. So they have information India, and we are 299.0 for the current altimeter. And ILS.
Morning, November 201, November Juliet. Philadelphia traffic has just departed runway 27 left, currently heading 230 and west of the airport, turning direct to Modena, climbing to 3,000 feet, eventually for 6,000.
So that's the other 201. He's clearly doing a lot on the communications there. So because we are on Unicom, all you're going to do is hear any aircraft that is within, I believe, don't quote me, 30 nautical miles. So if they're outside of 30, you won't hear them when they call out. But the gentleman in the Mooney was taking off from Philly. So he's right behind us. He was doing the same heading as we were doing. Then he was turning direct to his waypoint that he was given. And obviously he was given the same altitude as us. But we're in a Bonanza, similar speed to the Mooney, so we're pretty far ahead of him that we should be spaced out good enough. So, again, I hope everybody's having a good 4th of July weekend. Everyone's being safe. Be careful with the fireworks while you're celebrating America and our freedom. Let me know what you guys are doing for the 4th. And drop it in the comments.
Mooney, November 201, November Juliet is 13.7 nautical miles east of Modena at 3,000 feet, climb maintaining 6,000 feet.
Yeah, I think this fella here likes hearing himself talk. You don't generally call out on Unicom unless you're going to a uncontrolled airport or something. You're going to give the airport information. Nobody really cares what altitude they're at or what waypoint or fix they're headed to. So. But hey, he's using Unicom to its maximum potential, apparently. So, but if you ever get on Vatsim, there's no need to call all that stuff out. Especially on a clear day like this, you'll see see the traffic around you. Alright, so let me jump back on Vatsim map here. I'm thinking DC Center's got to disappear because we were never told to contact them. So I am going to just go out on a limb here and try and contact DC Center.
Comics should be close enough. Nearer to the 3/4 of the hour. All aircraft monitor I-311 CT, please.
Bonanza 201 Romeo, DC Center. Are you closing for the evening?
Favor.
All right, have a good night. Happy 4th.
You too.
Okay. So, just to confirm, that's what they were doing. I'm not sure, but Reagan might be shutting down too. Their ATIS just went down to about 2 lines. So, however, there are a lot of people flying into Reagan, so if we do get to a point where Reagan's controllers get off, it'll be an uncontrolled airspace and an uncontrolled airfield. Therefore, we will be on Unicom, and we will see what Unicom's like when it's very busy at a busy airport like Reagan. So hopefully everybody will enter crossing midfield 1,000 feet, and then we'll do everything we got to do, but we'll make sure that we communicate. Obviously, you want to aviate, navigate, communicate, but we'll make sure that we communicate for our friends there. Could be fun. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. I'll watch on Vatsim map to kind of see where we're at. Alright, so they officially got off. I don't know if you saw, that went from a shade of red to just the regular map, but that's, the shade of red was the center. It was DC Center. They're gone now. So we are over Delaware Bay right now. On our way there. So we'll check back on that in a little bit, and in about 9 nautical miles, we're going to make our right-hand turn toward Ronald Reagan International. So I think normally we would change our squawk code to 1200, but because we could potentially be going into controlled airspace, there may be a chance that Philadelphia sent that information to the controllers at Ronald Reagan. So we'll just leave that squawk code in for now. Once I check back in a little bit to see if anyone's still at Reagan International, then we'll make our determination there. Then I'll switch it over to 1200 find out that no one's there, because then it won't matter at that point. About 10 minutes, I'll switch gas tanks to, I'll just do it on the screen. I mean, alright, so we're starting our right hand turn toward chops. I'm just going to do it on the screen. Again, I have this extra throttle quadrant down here that I wanted to turn into a fuel switch, but Microsoft has not, or Asobo actually, whoever does the controls for the sim has not made it so you can do the left or right gas tank. It's only fuel selectors and all kinds of stuff under the fuel tab, but something as simple as a fuel switch is not on there. And I had asked some of the groups I belong to in Facebook if anyone's ever used the throttle quadrant from Logitech to make a fuel switch, and somebody was saying you might have to go out and buy one because you can't map it, but that can't be true because I was using one of these Logitech throttle quadrants as my landing gear. If you go back quite a few videos before I even had this panel, I was using my extra throttle quadrant that's set up now for like the citation jets. I was using the middle one as my landing gear. This one was still the speed brake, and then my right one was the flaps. And now I have this for flaps and this for landing gear. So I just set these as the engines left and right, and the speed brake for this. But I don't know. I'm hoping they do something to make the left and right fuel tanks something that you can map to, you know, up positions, left, down positions, right, and maybe in the further down position it can do it so it's switched off. Would be really nice, but we'll see. They've been working on this sim quite a bit. I don't know if anyone has seen the news. The next update, they're saying that they are doing an update that's going to increase the frames per second rate for all the potato PCs out there. I'm running mine on high, so I don't have a super great graphics card or anything like that. I'd love to run it on ultra, so maybe my potato PC will be one that runs much better at higher graphic settings. Once they do the update, that'd be really nice. So, but we'll believe it when we see it. You know, it's an ambitious thing. It's a nice thought, but at the end of the day, whether they pull it off for real or not, it remains to be seen. But be optimistic, right? Be optimistic. It's about 41 here on my timer. We'll switch the fuel tanks over to right, and that should make us level and balanced by the time we get to Reagan. All right. Well, it's a nice view up here, but we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a fast forward time lapse here so we can get into DCA airspace, and we are over Delaware right now, so DCA looks like they're still there. Still got the tower, still got a ground controller. Their ATIS is back up, so they must have been typing it back in. In fact, they switched over from India to Juliet, so When we make our call out to them, we will let them know that we have information Juliet as well. And it is 29990 still. So, enjoy your in-flight music, and we'll bring it back to real time when we get there. Okay guys, I just want to freeze this real quick. This is telling us that we have a plane that is 7,086 feet above us. So it's giving us the warning for air traffic, but as I'm looking out the window here, I don't see anybody. We're getting the red warning now. He's cutting right across in front of us, but I don't see him at all. So he must have cleared us. Or he's just not there. One of the two. Keep looking at our right window here. Yeah, I don't see him. Alright. Oh, there he was. Yep, November, Lima Oscar, November 1-2. We just passed each other, but I did not see him on the sim. There's a good chance if I had gone on the outside camera view, we probably would have saw him, but with the A post here, we probably didn't get a chance to see him, but alright everybody, we are getting over Maryland here shortly. I don't know if you can see on this or not, but that little black dot there is us, 201 Romeo. And the green shading here is DC airspace. So once that little black dot gets inside the airspace, I'm going to go ahead and switch over and make our call out to, I believe, tower, because I believe there's only a tower and a ground on. And we will let them know where we are and that we have information Juliet. So they know that we are up to speed with everything that's going on with Reagan. We're right on the line. Alright, so we're in that shaded green area. Let's go ahead and give them a call.
Departure 19.85. See you later.
Who's the one close clearance?
Report 4620.
Beechcraft 4629, that was broken.
Florida, Charlotte, information India.
Beechcraft 4629, cleared to Charlotte. Scram 6 departure, Glunk, transition to asphalt. Maintain 3000, expect
Flight level 280, 17 after departure. Departure is on 11985, squawk 2145, just hold the reback for 2 seconds.
Alright, so he's getting clearance
919,
on the ground.
on my 1 clear takeoff.
It's going to be busy here,
Takeoff with 919.
but at least there's a little bit of control going on here.
For Beechcraft 4629, you want us to read?
Beechcraft 4629, FM, reback.
Alright, we're going to clear to Charlotte. Grand funk transition as filed 3280 to after departure 1980. Fox, Beechcraft 4629.
This kid's breaking up bad.
Beechcraft 4629, reback correct, expect on my 1 clear.
He's just like, yeah, read back's good.
Expect runway 1 for departure for Beechcraft 4629.
Reagan Tower, good evening. November 201 Romeo, level at 6,000 with information, Juliet.
November 210 Romeo, Washington Tower, hello. You can make a straight in for runway, sorry, right base runway 33.
You got stepped on, Tower. Can you read that back to me?
November 210 Romeo, you can make a right base for runway 33.
Right base runway 330 on Romeo.
Tower, hello again, November 1 Delta Bravo.
Alright,
on a
so-
left turn down the river, number 2, for runway 1.
Blocks.
Alright, so let's start our descent for 2,000.
Reagan Tower 037
Bring back
requesting
the-
VFR clearance to Dulles International.
Stand by, Delta 2612, try to call.
Alright,
Delta 2612.
so we're slowing down here.
Delta 2612.
We want to slow down just a little bit, but not too
Wind
much.
calm, runway 1 clear to land.
Runway 1, clear to land, Delta 2612.
So 33 is going to be right over the Potomac here. That should be a pretty nice arrival. Departing runways 33.
Chile 37, could you just follow flight plan for me?
And we'll get the visual.
Yeah, stand by.
Alright.
November 1 Delta Bravo, you're
So-
following an Airbus A320 on a...
Let's go ahead and
4 mile final, wind calm, runway 1 clear to land.
Number 2, clear to land, November 1 Delta Bravo.
we are headed right for DCA. So what we'll do here is, I don't really like to put this stuff on the screen, but we're going to do it so we can add to it. But we'll go to flight procedures. We'll do arrival. And, I'm sorry, not arrival. No, let's get out of this. Clear, go back.
Southwest 919er, I'm sorry about that.
Procedure
Our
approach.
my ex-pilot actually crashed. Can we contact departure though?
Yes, that's
We're
919,
for
sorry,
runway
almost forgot about
33.
you. Contact center departure 11985.
11985.
RNAV.
Southwest 919er.
No transition, but we will go ahead and load this. I'm telling you, this is so irritating. Alright, so we should now let's see what this is doing. I absolutely hate not having a system in here. Okay.
You said the departure was 118.85, correct?
119.
So this is going to get us set up for the 33 arrival, as you can see right here. That is runway 33, which is wonderful. And
It's trying to spin us to... so what we're going to do is go direct to... See, this is the mess you have to deal with when you don't have a GPS system. Janif. Okay.
Runway 1, clear to land.
So we're going to go... And then on top of it, you got to deal with
Tower,
this.
37. Can you confirm you got a flight plan for me?
Chili 37, looks like you have just been Dallas to Pittsburgh.
It is not updated. 1 second.
All good.
Alright, Janiv, enter, let's
Ronald
go.
Regan Tower, Delta 2612,
Direct to Janif.
clear of runway 1, and
We're just spinning around here.
November 1.
Alright, so we're going to actually stay put at 3,000 right now because
Taxi Terminal VOQ, thanks so much, James.
it's
Have a great
doing what
night.
it wants to do.
DC Tower, Delta 8884 is locked on the localizer for runway 1 at 2,500.
Delta 88, Delta 8884, Washington Tower, following a, an Airbus A320 on a 4-mile final, wind calm, runway 1, clear to land.
Alright, clear to land runway 1, and we're following that bus. We'll keep an eye out, thanks. Delta 8884.
November 1 to Delta Bravo, we're off on November, just like to go straight ahead.
November 1 Delta Bravo, taxi.
Alright, we're going to go full rich.
November to the ramp.
We're going to punch this throttle.
Yeah. Regan Tower, 237. Flight plan has been updated.
And we'll call when we have 3-3 in sight.
37, dig into Pittsburgh today.
Feedback, please.
Chili 37, you're going to Pittsburgh, is that correct?
Affirmative.
Okay, Chili 37, cleared to the Washington Clock Bravo airspace. Maintain VFR at or below 2,500, squawk 2175.
Cleared to the Bravo airspace, maintain at or below.
Alright. Okay, so as you can see, I am dressed differently. This is a different setting. It's much brighter in here because it's daytime. I recorded this last night, but my camera decided that it wanted to stop recording just as I was approaching runway 33 in Regan International. So, what you missed out on was an absolutely beautiful landing. Hopefully I can replicate that, but of the landings that I didn't get to record, that one, I wish I would have got that one. It was really good. Right down center line, flared perfectly, set the back wheels down and then the front. But this is about where it went out yesterday, I believe. We were on our way to Janif, which we're on our way to right now. So I think we could see the airport off in the distance here. So I'm going to start dropping our altitude. We'll go down to about 2,000. speed up our descent here a little bit. VS a little bit quicker. Today is actually July 4th. I recorded it on July 3rd last night, but again, another actual happy 4th of July to everybody. I want to take the time out to actually complete this so I could stitch them together. But it's unfortunate the camera stopped recording, but we're going to get this done. We're going to land on 3-3 again and complete this 4th of July venture. I hope everybody's having fun today. As far as Vatsim went last night, didn't really miss anything from this point till I landed. It was all Reagan Tower. He just gave me, I told him I had a runway 33 in sight. There it is. And he gave us landing clearance, and that was it. Once I landed, I turned off, and he gave us taxi instructions to GA parking. So don't really need them here. Again, we appreciate them, but it was pretty simple. There wasn't a whole lot of procedure going on when it came to a landing. So we're about to make our right-hand turn and start lining up with runway 33. And then when we get about 5 miles out, I'll drop the gear. We'll start putting some notches of flaps in, getting it slowed down. We'll do about 90 knots. Boy, the air traffic's really busy here. There's one up there, there's one over there. We'll do about 90 knots on our final approach here. And then we'll actually just get this down to about 1,500. In fact, we're just going to go 1,000. Do some pattern altitude. Alright, so we are full rich. Got an airliner almost off our nose here. Hopefully he's not going runway 33, but if he does, he'll disappear. He's just a in-game aircraft. He is not a Vatsim flyer or anything. Alright, so we are lined up with runway 33 right now. There it is off our nose, off our wet compass there. Prop control's full forward. Mixture's full rich. We're at 130 knots right now. We'll throw our landing light on. And I do believe that airliner is probably going to 3-3. You can see that Washington Monument over there. And you can actually see the D.C. Capitol building, Capitol Hill, from where we're at too. Probably much easier to see if you were actually sitting here, but I don't know how it's translating to the camera. We might also hear the in-game ATC telling us we weren't cleared to land, but we were cleared last night, so we're going to be clear now. Alright, so put 2 notches of flaps in, gear down. We're going to lose speed considerably. Alright, similar to last night, we have a 4-knot northwest wind coming off the left side over here. So that's pretty much the same. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did last night. Try and keep it at about 95 to 100 coming in. We're at 1,000 feet. Three green. That's what we're looking for. So we're at about 95 knots right now. Autopilot disconnect. Let's bring it in. Lower the throttle a little bit. Obviously we're going to pick up speed as we descend. And we will pitch down a little bit too. Happy lights telling us we are high. Obviously we want 2 white, 2 red.
500.
All right, we're at 100 knots now. One red. There's 2. Where we need to be. Put it into the flare. Throttle. Beautiful. Almost like last night. That was almost identical. I ended up a little left of the center line after I put it down. Wow. Alright, we crossed runway 1 to 19 and exited right here as well. We'll go to the same parking spot. Turn our landing light off, taxi light on, open our cowl. And similar to last night, there are no marshalers. But that's okay, because find our own parking spot again. We'll take this one right here. It's perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. I'm glad I got a chance to do this makeup here. There we go. I hope you guys are having a safe, fun 4th of July. We will kill the mixture. There we go. Clean up the lights. If you guys enjoyed that flight, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, go ahead and leave your comments. Let me know what you guys were doing for the 4th, or if you want to see me go to any airfields or anything like that, go ahead and put it in the comments section, and I'll give you a shout out if I end up using it. And that's it. You guys have a good weekend. See you on the next one. Come sit right seat with me. Take care.